Hello and welcome back. This time we've got 3 wins in front of Marik Ishtar, which, as you may have guessed, becomes Yami Marik. Unlike the other Yami cards, like Yugi and Bakura, Marik wasn't an actual, ancient Egyptian soul trapped inside a Millennium item. I'm, 98% certain that Marik was instead just, a split personality disorder that regular Marik had because of a traumatic experience from his past. Cyber Jar and Mask of Darkness, so it's like a flip deck of sorts. Let's see what else they got. MST's gonna be annoying. We have some back row. Gravekeeper's Servant isn't the worst, they're just gonna try to mill our deck out. Morphing Jar number 2 would be annoying. Destroying our back row doesn't matter if we can just attack directly, so let's get rid of the monster. I guess Spear Dragon would be the best play here, just in case they do get a monster on their draw. Out of both of these, the one that I would get rid of most would be Bottomless. For some reason, the bot targets the first one you set first, or at least that's what I've noticed. Maybe I'm wrong. If they go for Mirror Force, then they're peeking at our cards. Okay, it is the card that you set first. We already knew those two. They did draw into a monster, that's a little annoying. Opticops isn't bad. They don't have a hand anymore, so recycling our cards isn't the most useful. We can go Opticops here. Hopefully this should get some piercing damage going. Another Morphing Jar number 2. That can be annoying, but half of our decks are monsters, so it's a good chance that we'll just get them. Or not. Those are 3 really good ones. Magician of Faith brings back some of the cards that we discarded, so that's not the worst. Upstart is just a free card. Lajin. So that's both of our monsters refilled. Pre-mat and Upstart. We could pre-mat the Lajin. I was really hoping they wouldn't draw into a monster. Imperial Order stops spell cards, but they've already played all the good ones, I believe. Maybe we should have set in main phase 2 in case that is something that could potentially screw us over, like their 3rd copy of Morphing Jar number 2. Or no, the Morphing Jar number 2 got set back to the deck, so as far as we know, they just got lucky and drew it again. I'll save the Premature Burial. Let's see what this is. A Magician of Faith? That's not the worst. We do have Imperial Order, so whatever they take back. I don't think the 300 damage is worth the top card of our deck getting discarded. At least not until we flip up Imperial Order and then their Gravekeepers. There's no more. So there goes the MST. it gets negated, so there's Gravekeepers. And we'll probably keep this on until we get the spell card that we can use. Them having a back row is kind of scary. We don't really know what they are capable of. Yes, we will keep this going. Hopefully it's not like a big blow-up card. We haven't seen them discard any back row. I want to save the Vorse Raider and the Premature when we know it's safe. We could get an Upstart Goblin back, but then we do have the Imperial Order up. Oh, we can't even pre-map because of the Imperial Order. Yeah, let's just go to battle. The most we'll lose here would be the La Jin, since Magician of Faith already got flipped. Next turn we can say no to Imperial Order and use our spell cards, I guess. A second Gravekeepers. Okay, assuming the back row is nothing, we should win this game. Oh, perfect. We can tribute the flipped up Magician of Faith. Now if their back row is a trap card, it's worthless. We do have to mill cards in order to attack, but I mean, we win the game, so it doesn't really matter. We'll just grab this for insurance. The insurance paid off. Even flipping up the Magician of Faith wouldn't be enough with its 300 attack. So they're playing a mill deck, which I believe is just like the original Marik. Aqua Spirit is a special summon, but I believe we would have to be playing water. During each of your opponent's standby phase, you can change the battle position of one of your opponent's face up. So we get to choose the battle position of one of their monsters, and it doesn't get to change. Could be useful, but we're not playing waters. No monsters, that's kind of frightening. A Magician of Faith. Well, we will be using spell cards, I think. Pot of Greed and Upstart. We might as well draw our cards before Marik mills them all. Spear Dragon to look threatening isn't the worst. Imperial Order stops all of their cards, which is great. We need Hades, though. Since we're going to be stopping their MSDs with Imperial Order, it's fine to set both of these. Although, seeing their deck, I doubt we're going to be using Bottomless a whole lot. Who knows, they could have high attack monsters. All we've seen so far, though, are like jar cards. How about you don't do that? Maybe if we had Reborn set, we would have let it go, just so we can reborn something. Forest Raider would be great if it allows us to attack over their card. We will pay for this. We don't have a spell to use right now, so it doesn't hurt us. If this is another morphing jar, this might screw us over. We ended up discarding a lot of cards during that last one. Spear Dragon getting blown up is annoying. That is our piercing monster. But now there's one less card for us to deal with if it is a morphing jar. It was a morphing jar. This lets us keep our board presence. We could blow it up with Ring of Destruction and not have to deal with the destruction of our deck. But I think we'll be fine. Bottomless we probably weren't going to use anyways. Change of Hearts sucks. Force Raider is alright. Would have preferred a Spear Dragon, just because we know they're playing a lot of weak flip summon monsters. We can use Monster Reborn now, I believe. We might say no to Imperial Order next turn. Problem is, the moment we get rid of this, we're susceptible to spell cards. But I kind of want to use ours. We have some pretty good ones. Let's see what they have in their hand. We never want them to get White Magical Hat. Cyber Jar wouldn't be so bad. We just attack with the monsters that we summon. They're mostly going to be beaters anyway. Mask of Darkness lets them grab a trap card, which isn't the worst. At the very least, let's do some piercing damage with Spear Dragon here. We won't summon anymore, just in case this is a Morphing Jar number 2. Main phase 2 will set the Magician of Faith and maybe get back something good. Pot of Greed or Change of Hearts and just win that way. Mocha Mocha is a little weird. It gains like 100 attack for each card in your hand, I believe. Something like that. 300 for each card in your hand. But they're like a mill deck, not a draw deck. Mocha Mocha would be great in like an Exodia deck because you're filtering through your deck and drawing cards and whatnot, but not in something like this. So unless they get rid of the Magician of Faith, we win here next turn. Bring back Change of Hearts, just grab whatever they set. We don't even need to flip it. It's probably better if we don't flip it, and then just attack directly with everything. Speaking of which, we got a second one. This is probably the Cyber Jar we let them keep. It was the Cyber Jar. I don't think this has lethal on board, but we do have Ring of Destruction. We can just blow up our own Spear Dragon or something. Yeah, Magician of Faith is 100 damage off. It's fine. We have insurance. Back to the graveyard you go. Another... Wait, no, this isn't Rhoda. This is the other one. This is graveyard to hand. Yeah. It's not the worst. I believe the only time I actually ever used that was when GX came out. Recycle something like a Sparkman. And then use it as fusion material to get Shining Flare Wingman. We know they're not gonna attack. Most likely never attack, so Mirror Force is kind of pointless. Flipping up Slate Warrior is kind of pointless too, because we know that they're just gonna destroy it. But the hope is still there, I guess. I'm pretty sure none of their monsters is able to destroy it. They're all under 1,000, I want to say. The Liquid Duo is annoying. Lajin's not the worst. Again, we're probably never going to use Mirror Force. 2 face downs. Ooh, perfect time. Two spell cards? What? 2 MSTs, that's funny. Oh, fun fact, as of the recording of this video, there's actually an MST, or like Mystical Storms, I believe is what it's called. An archetype based all around MST, which is kind of ridiculous. They did the Thunder Dragon thing all over again. Thunder Dragon was like an old Yu-Gi-Oh card, and then in like, I want to say early 2010s maybe, they created an archetype around Thunder Dragons, and now they're making an archetype around Mystical Space Typhoon. And what gets me though is the fact that all the spell and trap cards can be abbreviated as MST. Whoever creates the name for Yu-Gi-Oh cards needs to get a raise or something, because that's just too funny. Morphing Jar is annoying. We do get to deal a lot of damage to them, but there goes our hand. I like having Reborn. I don't know if Reborn here would have killed. No. What was it? The Lajin that was discarded? They would have been closer to dead, but they wouldn't have lost. Bottomless Trap Hole is another card that's probably going to be pointless. We can Forceful Sentry, their best card. Snatch Steal is annoying. Everything else is fine. So if we know that they're going to have a Torrential Tribute, we'll just never summon again. Morphing Jar number 2 is annoying. That might trigger Torrential Tribute, actually. Snatch Steal is guaranteed they're going to grab our Slate Warrior, which we don't want to happen. The monsters are irrelevant. Same thing with Gravekeeper Servant. So it's either Snatch Steal or Torrential Tribute. I'm pretty sure it's Snatch Steal that has to go. We can play around Torrential Tribute by not summoning. They could pop it themselves by them summoning. but at least we'll have a turn with our monsters on the field. It's not until next turn that they can summon, and hopefully Spear Dragon plus Slate Warrior is dead. It's a 50-50 chance that they set the hat instead of Morphing Jar. Although, the bot's probably smart enough to set Morphing Jar. No! Are they dead here? I'm pretty sure they're dead. 2100, yes. Slate Warrior's at 24 because it was flipped up. Nothing good. So far so good, we haven't been milled yet. Duster's great, but watch it be 2 MSTs again. Torrential and an MST, close enough. There is also technically a Torrential Tribute deck, or at least a card that can search out Torrential Tribute. The Kyroshin deck, I believe. We're probably never gonna flip up Slate Warrior again. They're just gonna use a flip card. So let's just go ahead and summon it. Royal Decree might be useful. We could also set Bottomless. We know they play MST. Use it as a bait of sorts. Dark Hole's annoying. $1,200 isn't really a whole lot. We can still attack over it with Harpy's Brother. Unfortunately, it's too low for Bottomless. Maybe if they had one more card. I'm pretty sure Bottomless doesn't say original attack. Yeah, so it might have triggered. Either way, we can attack over it. Change of Hearts isn't gonna do anything. It's not like it's lethal damage. Plus, we'll only have one card in hand. So it'll actually go down to like 900. We haven't seen them have any tribute summon monsters. So I kind of think their win con is literally just mill the opponent. Yeah, that's fine. We set that as bait. One face down. It could be a Morphing Jar number 2. Those haven't really been great for us. If it's anything, it should be fine. Let's set Change of Hearts in case it is like the one copy of Morphing Jar that they're allowed to have. They could also be cheating and have multiple copies of Morphing Jar. It is a villain that we're facing, so I wouldn't put it past them to cheat. Or I guess the developers to put an illegal deck. Delinquent Duo's annoying. We don't have a way to stop this, I don't think. Nope. Although, we did get rid of Change of Hearts. Or, we set Change of Hearts so they can't discard it. Probably one of the best things we've done. Is this lethal? 18 plus 18 is 36. So, Magician of Faith wins us the game. If they didn't play Delinquent Duo, they would have survived. Which is the funny part. It cost 1,000 to play. But then again, we would have had Vorse Raider in hand, so... who's to say? Even if their draw for the turn was a monster, we did have Change of Hearts face down. A bunch of vanillas, none of them worthwhile. They're going first, let's see what they got. Set 3 and pass. Well, set 3 and a monster. And pass. Please tell me that's like a heavy storm there. Snatch Steal. Doesn't work on face downs. If it's something that destroys us, Humphrey's Brother is the best thing to get destroyed. Fairy Box is annoying. We're just gonna end here. We could just draw it out. Raigeki's annoying though. Now they have 2 face downs. How bad would it be just to run out the clock on Fairy Box? They're never gonna flip their monsters. I'm like 99% sure they're never gonna flip. Okay, Torrential, sure. Clear the board, why don't you? Morphing Jar and a Mask of Darkness. At least we got rid of those, I guess. A 3-for-1 trade with a Vorse Raider is like the best value we can get. They still had a monster in hand. Okay, now Dark Ruler Hades though. That's kind of crazy. We haven't used the spell card yet. But like, Penguin Soldier, return back their 2 monsters, tribute summon for Hades. Attack directly seems kind of fun. Now we don't get a tribute for it. That's a little annoying. They will still be wide open at the very least. We can do like Opticlops to face. Duster is great. Duster is amazing. We could roll the 50-50, hope that they draw into another trap card. No, that's too much to ask for. Because that other back row could be Ring of Destruction or something. It's probably MST though. It is MST, isn't it? It's absolutely MST. Yeah, we'll just Opticlops here. No, if we're gonna tribute summon, La Jin would be better, yes? Oh, what we should have done was Snatch Steal their white magical hat. I forgot what that was in our grip. It's hard to remember because they're always going to be setting monsters for the most part. Like, Snatch Steal's best use case is when our opponent has big guys that we can just yoink from them. So like tribute summon a Summon Skull or a Blue Eyes or something. Card destruction is very annoying. Hades cannot be special summoned from the graveyard, so that's like... that's just so bad. They get a suicide here? No? I guess they do have a way to get 1500 or more on the field. Harpy's brother, we can crash. Slave Warrior, we can just attack over it. If the face down is MSD, we would want Bottomless dead. And then the other two, well, Call the Haunted would be next. Imperial Order needs to survive the most. Mirror Force. Okay, they do have cards. That's crazy. No, that's not happening. Vorse Raider, I guess? No, Slave Warrior. It's Vorse Raider with an added effect. Spear Dragon off the top. Monster Reborn. Is the Spear Dragon dead somewhere? No, but we can get another 1900. Worst case scenario, that face down is a fairy box, I guess. Best case scenario, it's nothing. And we just, we win here. Nothing of theirs is worth reborning. Well, I guess White Magical Hat says, because it does have a draw if we can attack directly with it, or deal any sort of battle damage. But, we're trying to win here. Torrential. Annoying, but that does clear up the board. They're down to nothing, right? They're just top decking now? No, they still have one card in hand. I hope their last card in hand is a spell card and so is their top deck. And we just get to Imperial Order them. Some sort of face down. Change of Hearts would be great if they actually set something. You know what? They have a lot of hand destruction cards. We're gonna set this. Call of the Haunted... nothing. It's literally nothing. They're putting it in attack mode, so at least we get some damage in. That's nice of them. I'm pretty sure we can't bottomless that, right? It's like... I'm pretty sure we can't. It's like 1,000. Yeah, it's 1,000 attack. Even Mucka Mucka is terrible to be reborn right now because they only have one card in hand. How about no? How about Imperial Order? Good top deck though. Now we just need any monster. I wonder what the last card is though. It can't be a monster. Or it could be, like their one tribute summon maybe. We're gonna win with Harpy's brother, that's kind of funny. Nobleman of the Extermination, I think this is our third copy of this, which is kind of cool. Big Shield Gardna is nice. It does go to attack mode after one attack, I believe. When this card is attacked, it is shifted to attack position, yeah. So you get to block with a 2600 once, which isn't bad if you can keep your opponent just to one card. A fourth copy of Harpy's Brother, not needed. Extermination is nice if we fight a back row heavy deck. That's always in the back pocket. But I believe that's 5 wins against Marik. Or Yami Marik. Low level, high attack. There were no high attack cards. Mucka Mucka doesn't count. Like, you waste so much of your hand setting, like the dumbest trap cards. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one.